What's going on, guys? It is Will here, back again, once again, for the return of the Gridiron Talk Podcast. I know a lot of you guys were asking me where this is, what happened, and to be honest, I've been very busy. And I'll talk about more of that at the end of the show with a new podcast, and I'll give you all the details for that later. I do that with my friend Joey. As you guys know, he was the co-host. Shout out to him. He made the thumbnail for this episode. He'll be doing that every week for the Gridiron Talk podcast. But this year, I am obviously not alone. I don't have Joey, and I don't have my cousin Nick. I have my friend, the only guy I know who's as big as a football nerd as me, my friend Shane, the Ryder Rocket. Now, Shane, explain yourself to the guys on YouTube, who you are, why you love football, your favorite football team, and go ahead, just, introduce yourself, man.
I'm Shane. I'm 20, just turned 20 years old. Went to the same high school as Will. I play football. I play semi-pro. Hopefully pro arena soon. Things have to fall in line first. I'm a full-grown Buccaneers fan, all the way back to the Mike Glennon, Josh Freeman days. So don't give me any of that Tom Brady crap. Yeah, football's an amazing sport. I was always a baseball kid, and then my friend introduced football, and then it just got on me, So yeah, I'm very excited to do this podcast with you, Will. It's gonna be very entertaining.
No, yeah, I appreciate it, man. Now, for anyone who is new, now, what host am I to not even introduce myself, right? I mean, it's my show.
Come on.
And if anyone who's just starting, like, well, who the hell is this guy? Well, my name is Will. I'm 19 years old. I am the host of the Gridiron Talk Podcast. And just like Shane, I love football. I'm a big football nerd. But the weird thing is, I never played football in high school. And I never played football in junior high school. I only played flag football 1 year. But I am a football nerd. I love the numbers. I'm a big numbers guy. If someone tells me this guy sucks and I disagree with you, I will debate you until the cows come home. So I love football. As you guys know, if you guys listened to me last year, we did it for basically the whole second half of the year. Started out with me and my cousin, then me and my friend Joey, as you guys know. And now me and Joey have another side project, but I'll get into at the end of the show. And then I was like, oh, Shane, he's a big football fan too. And I figured I would invite him onto the show. So if you guys don't know how our show works, it's just going to be very similar to how it was last year, where we go over each game. We talk about the spread, who's favored to win, if you don't know what that is. A quick little synopsis of the game and who each of us think are going to win. And then at the end, we're going to give our game of the week. And then after this week, we'll be tracking the picks record to see Shane's record for picking games is this and this and mine's this. A little bit of a competition between me and Shane. If you guys don't know, I'm a New York Giants fan. So, we're not the greatest this year, but, we're not the Lions. So I guess that's good, right? So
We're not the Texans either. So
we're not the Texans either, or the Jets. Jets.
Or the Jets.
So I'm gonna say my classic catchphrase. With that being said, Shane, are you ready to start the new and improved the Gridiron Talk Podcast Season 2?
The new and improved. I'm ready.
You are ready. So we're gonna start right into it with the Primetime game. The game that's actually on tonight, the Thursday night game between the Green Bay Packers, who are 6-1, and the Arizona Cardinals, who are 7-0. The Cardinals come in this game at 6.5 points favorites. The Green Bay Packers are without Davante Adams, Alan Lazard, Marquez Scandling, So they're out 3 of their main receivers. And can they pull out a win shorthanded? And no surprise here, J.J. Watt is out for the season. I just told you about this, Shane. He tore 4 muscles in his arm. He tore his bicep, his rotator cuff, his labrum, and his shoulder. So it sucks. I think he just has to retire. But my question for you, Shane, is do you think the Packers have a chance to pull out their win with 3 of their top receivers all out due to COVID?
Here's J.J. Watt is out, which my opinion on J.J. Watt. I think he is a rare breed of performing defensive players that the NFL has ever seen, but he just can't stay healthy. I think it's going to be a close game. I honestly don't think the Packers are going to win it. They're going to have to rely on their run game a lot. And who knows? I mean, they've had games where they've had Jones catch. I believe I think there was like 2 weeks ago he caught like 8 or 9 passes and he had like 2 receiving touchdowns. So I personally don't think they can do it, but Aaron Rodgers, I will give it to him. Aaron Rodgers is a very, very good football player, very good QB. So we'll see how that happens. But I personally don't think. I think Kyle Murray and Hopkins is just I think they're gonna pull it out. I don't think the Packers gonna be able to stop them. And their defense Their defense isn't the best defense in the league either. So.
And Packers fans are going to be having the infamous Kevin King, who, as you know, Shane, he's the one that got burned by Scotty Miller for the Buccaneers on that last-second touchdown last year in the NFC title game. They're going to have him on They're going to have him on DeAndre Hopkins.
If you can't, I love my Bucks. But if you can't cover Scotty Miller, you can't cover possibly the best wide receiver in the NFL, and he's been the best. He's been the best. I honestly think he's been the best since his first or second year, if I'm being completely honest. I think Hopkins, they preach him that he's good, but they don't preach him that he's great. Like, they preach Adams. I think Hopkins is better than Adams in almost every single way. But Adams won't be playing this game, obviously, due to COVID. So we'll see. I think Cardinals going to win. I think it's going to be close. I don't think the Packers are going to make it.
No, yeah. And the Packers are going to have to rely on, like you said, the run game, throwing to Randall Cobb, who they just acquired in the offseason from the Texans. And they're also going to have to rely on their tight end, Robert Tonyan. Without Devontae Adams, let's really see how Aaron Rodgers and crew can adjust. So,
yeah. I forgot about Tonyan. He's a really good tight end, but I don't see there ever being a big lead in this game between either team. I think this might be the game of the year. This is my game of the week, and I just think this is going to be a really good game, really interesting game to watch.
My pick to win this game is going to be the Arizona Cardinals with the Packers down a lot of guys. I think the Cardinals are going to win 24-20. What about you, Shane?
Mine's a little bit. I think there's going to be more offense in this game. I think it's going to be 30-27. Cardinals. I think it's like come down to the last 2 or 3 minutes. I think it's going to be tied going into a drive where Kyle Murray he just doesn't get a touchdown. They just have to kick a field goal, and big games like this, you know how Aaron Rodgers is. He needs his playmakers. He's a playmaker himself, but I mean, who does he have out there besides? You can only do so much with the running back in the backfield, and they're not going to put him in the slot every single play. They're not going to have 5 wide every single play at the end of the game, because then that's too much coverage that's contained. So right. I think they're going to win by 30-27 Cardinals.
Right on, Shane. Now lead us into our next game, which is an NFC South battle.
All right, so we have the Panthers, who are 3-4 versus the Falcons, who are 3-3, and I believe the Falcons are favored -3. Panthers are. I never realized this. Panthers, they've lost 4 straight games here. Will they are not looking
crazy.
Good. I do not think Sam Darnold is their answer. I think people were overhyping him, and then of course, injuries. CMC, Christian McCaffrey, he's down again. Hamstring injury, I believe. But I think they're gonna have another tough game. They're facing Matt Ryan. They're facing Kyle Pitts, who, in some eyes, has been the best generational talent from this past draft class. And I don't know his exact numbers. I know you praise him very high. That he's been really good this year. I know he did go off his rookie game, but what are your thoughts on this game here, Will?
No, yeah, I'm a big fan of Kyle Pitts. I think he is insane. He is really stepped up for the Falcons big time. They lost Julio Jones, who is a generational talent at wide receiver, and they basically replaced him with Kyle Pitts in a way, and Kyle Pitts is a very good tight end. His stats for the year, I know, like you said, I'm a big numbers guy. 31 catches for 471 yards, and he only has one touchdown. But besides that, he's been playing like crazy. He catches most. If you throw it to him, he's going to catch it. I mean, last week he had 8 targets. He caught 7 against the Jets. He had 10 targets. He caught 9. He's had 100-yard gains back-to-back weeks. He's the 7th ranked fantasy tight end. He's just overall, he's scary. He's hard to guard, and he's basically a wide receiver. Essentially, 6'6", 246, and he runs like what, a 4.4 or something like that. Man, like he's
4.5,
crazy
4.4.
fast for his, something like that. So he's crazy fast for his speed. And I just really think he's a mismatch on offense. Not to mention Calvin Ridley for the Falcons, and Matt Ryan too. He's still a dog. I still like Matt Ryan a lot. And then on the other side of the ball, we got the Panthers. So like you said, they're on a 4-game losing streak. Sam Darnold's been playing worse and worse. I personally think that he may be the answer. I don't really think we should count him out yet. But I mean, scoring 3 points last week is just unacceptable. He's got the weapons too. You got DJ Moore, you got Robbie Anderson, you got Terrence Marshall Jr., the rookie from LSU. I don't know. I just feel like, if Sam Darnold has to play good this week, because I don't think the Panthers are going to win, but like the Falcons defense isn't very good, and the Panthers at least have to put up some points and put up some fight,
Yeah.
So
and
with
on top of that, we went out and we saw when the Panthers game. The game CM3 actually got hurt, and DJ Moore was open like you said, he was open all day. So Darnold needs to find something to get the ball to him and to his other weapons. I mean, you can't rely on CMC. I mean, that's why he's hurt, in my opinion. They just do with him too much.
You said it yourself, Shane. DJ Moore is a cheat code. He's a cheat code. You said it yourself.
I think he's very underrated. I really like DJ Moore. He's a very underrated talent in this league, but you're gonna get that from a wide receiver standpoint when you don't put up big numbers and you don't have. I mean, he hasn't had elite QB talent in Carolina in a long time since I believe Cam Newton was their quarterback. I believe he was on Panthers when he was there. But yeah, I agree with you. I don't think I'm taking the Falcons in this game. I'm taking them 24-14 Falcons. That's my prediction.
My prediction is also the Falcons. I got them winning 27-21 in a more of an offensive-driven game, but nevertheless, this may be a surprisingly good game. For two teams that need to win.
There's a lot of good games this week, but I think this is one I'm like close attention to because it's both teams in my division for the NFL. But yeah, Falcons defense isn't the greatest. Obviously, but I just don't see Darnold figuring it out this week, and he doesn't really have a lot. He has weapons, but he can't execute on them very well, as we've seen so far this year, or at least in this losing streak. But ever since they lost McCaffrey, but
let's move on to the next game here. We got another battle in the South. This time it's the AFC South. We got the Tennessee Titans, who are 5-2, who are looking like one of the best teams in the AFC. Versus the Indianapolis Colts, who are 3-4, and the Colts are actually favored to win this game by 1.5. Like I said, the Titans are looking like one of the best teams in the AFC here, and a win here could put them in the driving seat for clinching the AFC South, as the Texans and the Jaguars are just terrible. And then Carson Wentz is having an under the radar year. He's been playing very solid. He's only got like 2 picks. I think his touchdown interception ratio is like 11-2 or 12-2, something like that. But he's playing really well, and the casual fans will tell you that Carson Wentz is terrible, and they'll be like, Carson Wentz sucks, blah blah blah. But they don't realize that he's 11 for 1. He's thrown 1 interception with 1,700 yards. So Carson Wentz is playing good again.
They don't really have. Obviously, I don't really pay attention to the AFC that much besides the Chiefs or the Titans or the Bills, because I think those teams are just insanely good. Colts don't really have that many weapons. There's T.Y. Hilton. I haven't really been following him this year, but you're right. Carson Wentz. He's very. I think if he continues to play this way, no matter what the Colts record is by the end of the year, you can't put the blame on him because, like you said, last year he was not last year, either last year or the year before, he was league leader in receptions, or he was one of the top 5. And Jonathan Taylor's an extremely great running back. So I'm not
That helps a lot.
surprised.
That
I'm
helps
not
a lot.
surprised they're favorite to win, but I'm very interested in why they think they're gonna win. But Derrick Henry is a different
the thing about the Titans, yeah, I was just about to say Derrick Henry's a beast for the Titans. Their
Henry
whole offense is very good. He is their offense, and they got AJ Brown and Julio Jones too. And on paper, the Titans' offense seems really good, but realistically, it feels like their offense shouldn't rely on Derrick Henry as much as it should, but it still does.
I feel like they rely on Derrick Henry because they know that's all they have to do. I mean, this man, I was looking at his numbers a couple days ago, and this man is on pace with the extra, even with the extra game. This man is on pace. He doesn't even need the extra game, in my opinion. He's on pace to break the single season rushing record and have over 20 touchdowns this year. And he's
a beast.
He threw for a touchdown against the Chiefs last week, which he did that in the playoffs as well against the Patriots a couple years ago in that wild card game.
The Patriots, yeah. Tom Brady's last game as a Patriot.
Yeah, I think Derrick Henry's a special breed. Man's insane. 6'3", 250, and he ran the fastest recorded time in the NFL at 21.5 or 21.5, I believe, miles per hour. He can do anything.
My pick to win this game is, as much as I love the Titans and I love Derrick Henry, I think the Colts are going to win. Pull off, not the upset, I guess, but the Colts win this game. I think they're going to win 21-17 because they do have a good defense, and they do have a good defensive tackle in DeForest Buckner who can easily stop the run. So if Derrick Henry is going to go up the middle, he's going to have a big all-pro guy waiting for him. So I got the Colts winning 21-17. What about you, Shane?
What do I have here? I think it's going to be a close game. I think a lot of games this week is going to be close. I'm taking the Titans 28-21. I just think I don't think there's a man. I mean, Buckner's he's a great player, but Derrick Henry's he's 6'3", 250. I mean, that's a lineman. That's D lineman numbers, and he's running 4.4s with the ball in his hand, and he's stiff arming people all over the place. I just don't think. I think it's going to be close. I think Carson Wentz will have a good game. I think Ryan Tannehill will have a good game. I think the difference maker, as it's always been, is Derrick Henry.
Lead us into our next game, Shane, which is AFC East Battle.
All right, so this one's a very interesting game to me. We have the Dolphins, who are 1-6. They've not been playing to their expectations this year, and then the Bills, who are coming off, like we just said, they lost to the Titans last week.
No, they had a bye. They had a bye last week.
Or they had a bye. Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of teams on a bye last week. I think then obviously Bills are favored by 14. Tua, he's being very criticized this year, and I can't really blame the Dolphins for criticizing him or anybody in general, but I feel like Tua, ever since he came into the league, they've been hating on Tua, and I just don't get it. I don't think Tua's that bad of a player, but at some point you gotta wonder what is wrong with the Dolphins, especially this year. They're 1-6, and they were predicted to be contenders with the Bills in the division this year. So you gotta wonder what's going on with Tua.
Yeah, I think the Tua Tagovailoa hate is unwarranted. I think he's being ostracized. And it's more like the casual fans just think he sucks when they really don't watch the games. I mean, has he played the best? No, but is he? I mean, he's a second-year quarterback, and they expect him to play like Tom Brady. Like, it's just like you're not gonna. That doesn't happen. 9 times out of 10, quarterbacks don't play crazy in their second year or their first year. All right, so it takes a very special breed. I think that Tua will be. I don't think he'll be great, but I do think he'll be a solid quarterback, kind of like Baker Mayfield will be, in my opinion. But they do have the supporting cast around him. They do have Jalen Waddle. They do have Will Fuller. They do have Devontae Parker, Mike Gesicki at tight end. So they do have the weapons, but I really feel like the offensive line is selling Tua. But besides that, I think on offense, if they fix their offensive line, then Tua's still not the greatest. And I think, it's time to trade him. I know they're looking to get Deshaun Watson. I don't think he would really. I mean, I think maybe, but like with all the sexual assault conduct, whatever the hell he has in court, I don't think anyone will trade for him until he ever gets resolved. If it even does get resolved, if he's considered guilty, then he'll be in jail. Right. But like if he is found innocent, then but you have to take that chance. Like, what if he is guilty? You know what I'm saying? And we wasted. It looks bad on the organization. It looks bad, so. It's risky, you know what I'm saying?
It's very risky. I actually heard this morning. I heard that the trade is like they're ready for the trade. Like the Dolphins and the Texans are ready for that trade for Deshaun Watson, but because of the legal status of Watson, the trade cannot go through until all the legal status is dealt with. Devontae Parker, you mentioned him and Waddle and Fuller. I think Devontae Parker, he's a very, very, I said it earlier about DJ Moore. I think he's very underrated. I think he's an exceptional athlete at the wide receiver position. But I don't know what to do. And the Bills, they're coming off a bye week, like you said. Allen, he's been playing great all year. Diggs, obviously, he's a big threat. And their defense,
Sanders.
Their defense as well has been playing really well. I think they're the most overall complete team in my opinion, even more than the Bucs. I think the Bills are just the most complete. They just had a couple things go wrong with them in a couple of their games this year, and I think Bills are going to be very scary down the road. So, what's your picks here, Will?
I got the sorry, I lost my train of thought. I have the Buffalo Bills win this game. I have a complete blowout, 35-6. And I think Josh Allen is going to pump the Miami Dolphins, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. He will give the Miami Dolphins a complete clapping, to say the least. What about you, Shane?
The more I think about it, I have the same scenario too. But I kind of forgot about how great actually the Bills defense has been playing this year. I gave you my predictions earlier, but I'm gonna change it for this game. I think basically what you said is gonna happen. I think Bills are actually gonna win this game 35-10. I don't think Dolphins even have a chance with or without Tua, even with what they have around Tua. The Bills' defense, they're really good. Obviously, their offense is the main point of their team, but their defense is very underrated in the eyes of the league, in the eyes of casual fans, and I think they're just gonna slaughter the Dolphins this week.
Next game we got up here is the Cincinnati Bengals, who are 5-2, versus the New York Jets, who are 1-5, and the New York Jets are 10.5-point underdogs. Now, the Cincinnati Bengals lead the AFC North as the Baltimore Ravens are on a bye this week. And they dismantled the Ravens. Jamar Chase is easily the offensive rookie of the year frontrunner. He would be the first rookie to win it since Odell Beckham, rookie receiver, which is like 7 years ago. He's looking for another big game against a terrible Jets team. And the Jets are most likely going to be without Zach Wilson, who has a calf injury. I forgot what type of injury he had, but that's why the Jets traded for Joe Flacco. So Joe Flacco would be the starting quarterback for the New York Jets. Yikes. What go ahead, Shane.
I heard that what's his name? That played last week. What's his name? Didn't even know he was in the NFL.
Mike White?
Mike Ford? No, that's not his name. What's his name?
It's Mike White, I think. Something White.
Mike White. I heard he was the starter this week. I knew about the Joe Flacco trade. I was watching a talk show yesterday, a sports show, and they were talking. It was a New York sports show, and they were saying They said Flacco was in, but they didn't say Flacco was starting this week. But who knows? They may have changed it in the last 24 hours. I've been busy, so I haven't really been on key with the latest NFL news in the past 24 to 48 hours. But yeah, Joe Flacco. I mean, I forgot he was even in the league. He's getting old up there. I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna. I don't know what the Jets are thinking, what the GM's thinking. It's very surprising to me in both ways how bad the Jets have been this year, but how good the Bengals have been. You said they're 5-2. They're leading their division. They're leading the AFC right now. If the playoffs that started today, Bengals are the number 1 seed, I believe.
Yep.
Joe Burrow.
Now, before we get,
no, you can go. You can go, Edwell.
Okay. So I was gonna say, before you give us your score, I just want to ask you, what are your thoughts on Jamar Chase and how he's been playing this year? Like, I mean, I personally think Jamar Chase is going to break the rookie receiving record that Justin Jefferson almost broke. If you guys don't know, the rookie receiving record is about 1,493, which was set, 50 years ago in the AFL. It's an old record. But do you think that not Justin Jefferson, my bad, that Jamar Chase can break the NFL rookie receiving record, or do you not think so?
Do you know his numbers right now? I know he's been playing amazing. I know he had a big game last week against the blowout against the Ravens.
Yeah, so Jamar Chase's numbers this week is, just give me 1 second. I just gotta find it in my notes.
I know he's been playing amazing. Like I think Jamar Chase. I think he's the next great wide receiver. Like the great, like people saying Justin Jefferson. I think he is too. But I think Jamar Chase is the next level. Like I don't think he'll be good for a couple years and then be questionable like a lot of receivers have been the last couple years. I think he'll reach like Devontae Adams, D-Hop, that kind of level within the next couple of years if he keeps playing the way he does.
He has 754 yards, which is second in the league. I think he's only behind Devontae Adams. And he leads the league in yards per catch with 22 yards. That is crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, I think I didn't know his numbers, so we're what, like a game out from it. Well, technically we're halfway through the year, but I think if he continues to play the way he's been playing, good, smart football, I think he'll break it. I don't think he'll break it by a ton. I think he may reach 1,500, but that's the most I'll give him. I do think he'll break it though. Only if he keeps playing the way he does. If he has like 1 or 2 bad games, I don't think he'll break it.
The record right now is 1,493. That's the record, that's pretty good for a rookie, But regardless, getting to the scores of this game, I think the Bengals are going to win 31-13. What about you, Shane?
Mine's pretty similar. I think Bengals win 28-13. I mean, Bengals offense has been going off, and they're playing the Jets, so we don't even know who really is their starting QB this game. Their defense, their whole operation, they need to, this offseason, they really need to get serious about this team, because I don't even know what it's been. How long since they've even made the playoffs? 2010, I think.
Yeah.
Mark Sanchez was their QB that year, I believe. But yeah, I think Bengals win this game easily.
All right, Shane, lead us into our next game, which is the Steelers and the Browns.
Yeah, so Steelers-Browns. We got it's gonna be a very so Steelers and Browns. Steelers 1-3, Browns are 4-3. I believe the Browns are 3-3 favorites. 3, yep. Sorry about that. So yeah, what do you think about this matchup here, Will? What are your thoughts on this?
I think that this is going to be a AFC North battle. Obviously, that was stupid to say. I think it's going to be an AFC. Yeah, no shit, Will. It's an AFC North battle. Come on now. But I think this is going to be a good game. Nick Chubb should be coming back for the Cleveland Browns, and he will be an X factor. He missed the last couple of games with a calf injury, so he should be all good now. And the Steelers' silver lining this year, because they're not going to make the playoffs. And if you the Steelers fans, I know you are out there, Mister. I think that Minka Fitzpatrick can guard Darren Waller. Big Ben is still top 10. Yeah, all you buffoons out there. Wait, what else? Najee Harris is better than Saquon Barkley. Oh my God, I'm a Steelers fan. I make all these stupid takes. The last one. I think T.J. Watt should have won Defensive Player of the Year, but I just look at them like they have four heads. I'm like,
listen, I personally think I think you're right about all those takes. The T.J. Watt take, I think he's a phenomenal player. But that was.
But here's the thing: they think he's better than Aaron Donald. That's just not true.
See,
it's literally not true.
Right. I don't agree.
It's not true.
I don't agree on that statement at all. Sorry about that.
I mean, I'm not trying to if you like the Steelers, I'm not trying to dog on you, but it's just a fact. You think most of their fans think T.J. Watt's better than Aaron Donald. T.J. Watt's barely better than J.J. Watt without an arm. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel.
But
I will say one thing before I pass the mic to you, Shane. Najee Harris is proving he is a stud, and he is the silver lining on this offense. That's what I was going to say. He is a great player. If the offensive line gets fixed for him, he will be even better. But he is their offense right now. Najee Harris is playing excellent for the Steelers. I will give him that.
I agree too. I personally would have grabbed more offensive linemen in the draft. Because like you said, Big Ben, he's not getting any better at all. He's with age. He's like every regular quarterback because not everybody's Tom Brady. He's just not. I give Big Ben this year and next year, then I think he's out of the league. My predictions for this game, I think, like you said, Nick Chubb's coming back. I'm a big Nick Chubb fan. He went to my
big Georgia fan, right?
Big Georgia fan, yeah. He went to Georgia. He did phenomenal there. It's translating to the NFL. I believe last time I checked, this may be wrong, but last time I checked, he was second in rushing yards, and then Derrick Henry was.
I don't think he is now because he was hurt, but yes, when he was healthy, he was second. Yeah,
he was second. So yeah. I think Browns win this game. I think it's going to be close because I don't think the Browns defense isn't there yet. I'm taking Browns 24-20.
I think the Browns are going to win. I think it's going to be more of a defensive battle because the Steelers do have a good defense. I will give them that. I think the Cleveland Browns are going to win this game 17-13. And Baker Mayfield is just proving that he will be another game manager. I do like Baker Mayfield, but he is a game manager, let's be honest. So 17-13, Cleveland wins. The next game we got is two teams. Unless you're a fan of this team, you're not going to be watching this game. And let me just say, if you live in the Philadelphia or Detroit area, I'm sorry, but you have to watch this game instead of the Titans and Colts. Yeah. But we got the Philadelphia Eagles, who are 2-5, against the Detroit Lions, who are 0-7, and the Eagles are 3.5 points favorites in this game. Now, the winless Lions would need a win before they go on the bye. Now the question for the Eagles is, will Miles Sanders get more carries if he's healthy, or is Kenneth Gainwell, the rookie running back out of TCU? That may not be the correct college, but the rookie running back who has been kind of slowly replacing Miles Sanders, will he become their main feature back? He's from Memphis. Kenneth Gainwell's from. But yeah, my point is Gainwell has been getting more touches. He's a better receiving back than Miles Sanders. Better fantasy option if you play fantasy. Gainwell is just overall better. So, Shane, what is your thoughts on the Eagles running backs? Do you think Sanders is the guy? Do you think that they should give more snaps to Gainwell? Potentially trade Miles Sanders? What are your thoughts on the Eagles running backs?
So, this is my thought. I think the Eagles, respectfully, don't know true talent when they see it. They gave away Wentz, which, you know what? They did what they did. They got a new QB. You see how Wentz is doing with the Colts. He's doing just fine. I think Sanders, when he's healthy, I think he's completely underrated. I think he's the the most underrated running back in this league, in my opinion. I think they should equal the touches like how they do in Cleveland with Chubb and
Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt. I forgot who's.
They do it with the Raiders too, with Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake. They do the same thing.
Yeah, that too.
There's
so many.
Hunt's like the receiving back.
Yeah, there's so many great running backs in this league. You can't. It's almost like there's so many good running backs that you can't just rely on one of them unless you're Derrick Henry. I think they need to give the ball to Sanders when he's healthy, and once he gets tired, just hand it off to the next guy. And I don't know. I don't like the Eagles situation. You heard what I said about the Jets. I think Eagles are going to that situation as well. The Eagles. This is their worst start since 1999, I believe. So, Eagles, just like the Jets, they need to figure something out.
The Eagles sure have fallen from. I mean, they won the Super Bowl like 4 years ago.
Yeah,
crazy to think that, man. How quickly a team can change.
I mean, hey, we're seeing it this year with the Chiefs, man. So,
True. I mean, true. One silver lining I will get for the Eagles is I'm a very big fan of Devontae Smith. I love Devontae Smith. And that was a great pickup for them as much as I wanted the Giants to draft Devontae Smith. I do like him, and I think he will be a star in the NFL. He currently leads them in receiving yards, catches, and he is a stud. The thing is that they're going against this Lions team. We haven't even really spoken about them, but I think they're a good team despite not winning a game. And I love their coach. I think their coach, Dan Campbell, is going to be a great coach. He's working with in a very tough situation,
Yeah, I mean, Lions, they're just Jared Goff. They got DeAndre Swift.
He's very mediocre. Georgia.
Oh yeah, Georgia. He's another.
I said, yeah, Georgia, and I said that Jared Goff is like mediocre. He's just all right. No, he's not bad. He's not very good.
I think it's easy to tell that he didn't carry the Rams to the Super Bowl. Sean McVay did. Sean McVay's an excellent coach, obviously. But yeah, like you said, I think the Lions. I think they just had bad luck this year. There's been a couple times where they could have won games this year and they just didn't execute it. The big one was when I believe DeAndre Swift dropped a pass in the end zone for the game-winning touchdown. I think that was week 1 or week 2. But yeah,
and they lost back-to-back weeks on game-winning field goals too.
Yes, that too. I believe those were weeks 2 and 3 or 3 and 4. But I actually have the Lions barely pulling it out this week, 21-20.
Me too. I got them pulling it out this week too. 20-17. I think the Lions are going to finally win their first game, go into the bye with some type of momentum. 20-17 Lions.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of another team that's not very good, and Sean McVay, tell us about the Rams and who they're playing this week, Shane.
The Rams are playing the Texans, and the Texans are not doing well at all, as we can see. They're 1-6, and the Rams are 6-1. Matthew Stafford, he's playing amazing, and obviously the Rams are going to be favored 14.5. I mean, in my opinion, I think they should be favored more because Texans only put up 5 points last week against the Cardinals.
5 points. Yep.
Yeah, field goal and a safety, I believe. Yeah, Rams they're clicking on all cylinders. The Rams in the NFC. I said it earlier in the podcast. Bills are the most complete team in the AFC, in my opinion. NFC, I got to give it to the Rams. Their defense, they have a great strategy on defense. Jalen Ramsey, you can't say anything about him that's not terrific. And then obviously, Aaron Donald. That's all I got to say. Aaron Donald. Matthew Stafford's playing amazing, and the Texans just suck. That's all I got to say. They suck, and they just traded away Mark Ingram as well. So, what's your thoughts about this game, Will?
It did. No, Stafford playing so good. And he's going against a terrible defense. I mean, it's almost like wow. It's just like bread and butter this week. This team is built very well, and I've been high on the Rams ever since they traded for Matthew Stafford. And I'm going with them again this week. I think this is a game where Stafford balls out. He's a very under the radar MVP candidate. He's been playing great all year. Darrell Henderson, the running back, has been filling in for Cam Akers' shoes very well. And Tyler Higbee. I mean, you just look, this is a very complete team. And we already talked about the Texans most likely going to trade Watson if you didn't have those, sexual assault or sexual misconduct allegations, harassment, whatever those allegations are. Let's hope everything gets resolved for everybody. But my point is that until they get rid of Deshaun Watson, the Texans are just going to be a very trapped team. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just well, what the heck, So
Yeah,
if it's either Davis Mills or Tyrod Taylor, whoever the starting quarterback will be for the Texans, I think they're going to get blown out of the water 28-3. Don't look, Falcons fans.
I think I'll give them some slack. I think they'll score 8 touchdowns. I think Rams are destroying them 30-7. Like I said, Rams, I think they're the most complete team. Why don't you fill us in this next game that we're going to talk about here, Will?
So we got the San Francisco 49ers, the Niner gang, who are 2-4 against the Bears, the Chicago Bears, who are 4-point underdogs. The 49ers are 4-point favorites. Now, the 49ers are on a skid. They have a bunch of questions at hand. Mainly, is Trey Lance going to start? Is Kyle Shanahan somewhat at blame for their poor start? And the Bears side, this offense is just terrible, absolutely disgraceful. I don't even want to watch the Bears on offense. It's so bad. So my question for you, Shane, is I'm going to ask you 2 questions. One, do the 49ers start Trey Lance if they stick it out with Jimmy Garoppolo? And 2, do you think that Kyle Shanahan is to blame somewhat for their 2-4 start?
So I'm gonna go back a couple years, just real quick, just to compare the situations. Lamar Jackson, his rookie year, they didn't start him until I believe week 9, his rookie year. And then you see how well he's doing now. Obviously, Lamar Jackson has a different skill set than Trey Lance, obviously, but I think you go with Lance, and I think Shanahan. I think he's the blame. They got a lot of weapons both on offense and defense. I saw the Packers game that they faced when they faced the Packers earlier this year, and that was a really good game, really good called game. But he's got to coach better. He's got the players. They were like you said. We were just talking about it. Eagles a couple years ago, they won the Super Bowl. Now they're trash. Chiefs aren't doing the best this year. They've been in the past 2 Super Bowls. One of them, they beat the 49ers, and last year they were hit with injuries, and now this year everybody's healthy and they're not performing. I think the 49ers are going to win this game, but I got the 49ers 28-14, but I don't 49ers, that's a difficult situation to talk about in almost every aspect, the way you look at it.
Same thing with the Bears, because the Bears have
I don't even want to talk about the Bears. The Bears are just, their offense is just so bad. I feel so bad for Justin Fields. That the man got,
he has no protection.
I think I got sacked like 7 times last week. Gave up. I think he threw a pick and he fumbled the ball as well, I believe. So there's so much wrong with the Bears that it's just hard to talk about.
Me and Shane both got San Fran winning. I got San Fran winning 21-10. What about you, Shane?
I have them 28-14. I think I mean, I don't even know. This game is just hard to predict. I mean, obviously, people are going to choose the 49ers, but it's just there's so many questions around this game that it's hard to have a discussion about.
The next game we have is the New England Patriots, who are 3-4, against the Los Angeles Chargers, who are 4-2, and the Chargers are 5-point favorites here. This is going to be a good game. I like Mac Jones a lot. If you told me draft it, out of all the quarterbacks, Mac Jones is going to be the best, I'd call you crazy. I was not a big fan of Mac Jones, but now I'm slowly becoming a fan. I know he's like a game manager, but there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with not putting up crazy numbers every week. If you win games, you win games. And I don't think that Mac Jones nor Bill Belichick nor the Patriots fans really care as long as they're winning games. He is top 10 in passing yards with about 1779. He is number 9 in the leagues, and his ratio is 9-6. So I mean, he's 6 interceptions isn't the greatest, but we gotta remember he's a rookie quarterback, and he's got weapons. But this is a tough test this week. I don't think the Patriots will win this game, but I think it'll be a good game. So Shane, what are your thoughts on Mac Jones and how the Patriots offense has been playing so far this year? It helps that he has a good run game too. That does help.
That is true. They have a great run game. When they faced the Cowboys is when I really started to buy into to Jones and the Patriots this year, because I went over who they faced this year. They faced the Bucs. They faced the Cowboys. They've been playing high top tier teams when they're not a top tier teams, and they lost in the final seconds.
Competing.
Yeah, they lost a game winning field goal against the Bucs, and then obviously the game against the Cowboys when Dak Prescott threw that touchdown. Which, by the way, in that game, Mac Jones, he threw a go-ahead touchdown. I think it was like a 70-yarder.
Dude, Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah,
he burned Trayvon Diggs. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think like you said, I like Jones as well. You don't got to put up crazy numbers like Mahomes or, I think he fits the Patriots system very well. I like Jones. I think he's going to be a great player, and like I said, I think the Patriots are a better team than what their record is, in my opinion. But I do not have them winning this game. Chargers, they're just Justin Herbert. He's been playing great. They got their defense has been playing very well, in my opinion. I think Chargers win it in a close one, 24-18 Chargers.
Before I talk about, I got a question for you about. Before I get into that, I will just say that we watch me and Shane, we watch a lot of games every Thursday. We try to watch them. We go to a bar and we just watch them. We watched that Buccaneers and Patriots game, and we said the whole time that Mac Jones is playing better than Tom Brady. Mac Jones outplayed Tom Brady, and it's true. You look at their numbers. Mac Jones played really well. Yeah, against Brady's right. And what the part that got me about Mac Jones is I did not like Belichick's play call at the end, kicking that long field goal in the rain. I was like, what the hell is he doing? Great, and you're going to leave it up to a field goal, a long field goal? So I like Mac Jones a lot. And about the Chargers, real quick before I give you my score, Shane, do you think the Chargers have a chance to win the AFC West or no?
See, the AFC West, it's just you got the Raiders. I mean, I think Broncos they're out of it at this point. My bad. I can't tell you right now. It's too early. There's too many, ifs or buts or what ifs. If Chiefs turn it around somehow, they'd be a scary team, as everybody in the NFL knows. But right now, I have them taking the division. And I personally have them being one of the top seeds in the AFC by the end of the year, but still early. So you can't really prejudge things right now. So
yeah, so you said you got the Chargers winning 24-18. I also have the Chargers winning 24-21. This is also going to be another good game, like Shane said. There's a lot of good games this week. This is another one I would, if I can catch this game on TV, I'll definitely watch it. It'll be a fun game to watch. So, Shane, you lead us into the Buccaneers game. I know you're a big Buccaneers fan, so lead us into their game against the Saints. So go right ahead, man.
Yes, sir. We got the Bucs, who are 6-1, facing the Saints, who they're a little bit under the radar in my opinion. They're 4-2. Bucs are favored 5.5. Now, this is what got me earlier before we started this is that, Will, you have the Saints in this game. Am I wrong or am I wrong?
Oh yeah, we'll get into that when we give everyone the synopsis. But I think the Saints are going to win this game. Without spoiling too much, I think that Jameis Winston, Sean Payton is making him a game manager. Like we just said with the Mac Jones, it's not a bad thing to be a game manager. But Michael Thomas will not be playing. Sadly, he'll be back soon. But I honestly think the Saints pull off the upset here. The Buccaneers are a good team, but they're not unbeatable. They're not the all insane. They're not like what's that team? This team from Space Jam. I'm drawing a blank. The Monstars. They're not the Monstars, or they're like unbeatable. They can't be beaten. They're not the Monstars. And I really think the Saints have a chance. But regardless, Shane, you go ahead and give us the synopsis of this game.
So yeah, Tom Brady, 44 years old, leads the NFL in touchdown passes, pass completions, and passing yards. At 44 years old, you just can't. This man's insane.
He is. I don't understand. And people hate him. I don't understand. I mean,
I don't. Listen, I never liked Brady. I never liked Brady from the come up to the dynasty of the Patriots to the 07 to the 11. All the years they made the Super Bowls. Then he got traded, or he didn't. Yeah, he got traded to Tampa, I believe.
No, he signed with them.
Oh, he signed with them. See, my brain's just all over the place. I'm so excited for this game. I have the Bucs winning this game, though. I think Winston is a better quarterback than he right now with Sean Payton than he was, when he was with Tampa. It's his first start against Tampa since he joined with the Saints. I just think Tampa's defense isn't as good as they were last year. But like you said, they don't have the Saints don't have Michael Thomas. I think that's a key factor because Bucs are still number one against the rush. But that key element against the pass is where they've struggled this year, obviously, with their corners being down. And I think my prediction for this game, I think Tom Brady's going to have a great game as well. To continue doing what he's doing. I think the Bucs are going to win this game 35-24.
No, like I said, I disagree. I think Jameis Winston's going to have a revenge game. It's always hard to play in the Superdome. It's one of the biggest home field advantages, but somehow the Giants won against them, right? But regardless, I really think the Superdome will be loud for Jameis Winston. This is just a big rivalry, regardless of like Tom Brady, especially with Winston, being the Buccaneers quarterback. This is just probably now correct me if I'm wrong, Shane, but out of all the NFC South opponents, is the Buccaneers most hated rival the Saints, or would you say it's the Falcons, the Panthers? Like, would you say this is their biggest rival in the NFC South?
I would say lately it's been the Saints. Especially since
exactly.
Brady,
so this is a big,
especially since Brady came. They lost both games last year, and then they beat them in the playoffs. So, I would say the Saints.
The Saints have really always had their number, really, before Tom Brady came, and then Tom Brady kind of sparked the rivalry. But I think the Buccaneers have not beaten the Saints with Tom Brady in the regular season. I think the Saints moved to 3-0 against Brady in the regular season. I think the Saints win 28-27. It'll still be a really good game. I still think Tom Brady will be playing very well, but I just think the edge of playing in the Superdome, the edge that that Sean Payton has had Tom Brady's number. I think the Saints pull out the win. Now we move on to our next game before we get into the last game before we get into the primetime games. We got the Washington football team. Hate that name. I can't wait till they change it, man. I cannot express to you whatever they change it to, Red Wolves or whatever. I just cannot stand the football team name. The Washington versus the Broncos. Washington's 2-5. The Broncos are 3-4. And the Broncos are 3-point favorites, but they have lost 4 games in a row, kind of like the Carolina Panthers. But the good news is that Jerry Jeudy, second-year running back or receiver out of Alabama, will be coming back for the Denver Broncos, and he is a spark to their offense that they need. So hopefully he will come back to snap their losing streak, and Washington is looking like they need Fitzpatrick back ASAP. Now, Shane, what are your thoughts on Jerry Jeudy? Do you think he'll be the X factor for the Broncos in this season? You think his play, him coming back, will make them go on a little streak, or do you really think him coming back is irrelevant?
I think I don't think it'll be a big factor, but I think it will make a difference. They don't really have a lot of weapons, in my opinion. With their skill set
Sutton's pretty good.
With how he is. I will not discredit him at all, but I think Teddy Bridgewater needs someone like Judy, and I personally think they're gonna do very well in this game. I think it's gonna be a close game, because both defenses. I've told you how I felt about Washington's defense coming into this year. I had high expectations for them, and they just have not lived up to it at all. So I do take the Broncos in this game, 17-14.
I agree. I think the out of all the disappointing teams this year, they're definitely the most disappointing. The Washington has been. I think they're going to win Broncos by the same exact score, 17-14. Now, Shane, you lead us into our Sunday night game. We got 2 more games to go. We got the Sunday night game. You lead us into it, Shane. This is my game of the week, but go ahead. You lead us into it, man.
All right, so we got the Cowboys 5-1 versus the Vikings, who are 3-3, and the Cowboys are 1.5 favorites, I believe.
1.5. Yep. This is gonna be a fun game, man. I can't wait.
This is gonna be it's not my game of the week, but I think it's gonna be a very interesting game. I will catch this game. I will watch this game, Sunday night game. I will watch it.
It's gonna be on Halloween too. Halloween night.
Yeah, Halloween night.
So if you're not at a party getting blasted or going trick or treat to watch this game.
yeah. The Cowboys, they had a lot of haters this offseason. Will
haters too? Yep.
They're proving them wrong now.
I was one of them. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I am too. I don't. People are saying they're they're possibly the best team in the NFC. I do not believe that. I think their defense is not good enough. Diggs is a great player. I don't think he'll be offensive player of the year though.
Whoa!
That's a very hot take. That's a hot take. Will
back it up. I'm telling you to back it up. I'm pausing you right there. Trayvon Diggs. Wait, all these Cowboys fans. I'm ready for them. Their hands are they're on their keyboard. They're about to dislike this video. But Trayvon Diggs is the most overrated player in actual football. I know. Cowboys fans they're coming after me, man. But I don't know, man.
Well,
it's like
I'm with you, Will. I don't think Diggs. I mean, he's a great. How do I put this? He's a great zone player. He's not a great man-to-man player. We talked about it earlier when they were facing the Patriots. Yeah, they were facing the Patriots. We once again watched the ending of that game. Diggs got a pick. What happened in the next play? He got burnt.
Pick 6. Yep, and he got burned by Kendrick Bourne.
Yep.
Now, if I have a corner, this is just my opinion. I would rather have a corner like Jalen Ramsey, who probably gets a pick a game or 2 picks a year, but they don't throw to him because he's just such a pest on the ball, than a guy where they throw to him every single time. It's like a 50-50 chance he gets a pick or he gets burned for a touchdown. That's just me, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I completely
think
agree.
that, like, picks aren't the only defensive stat. Like, there's a lot of stats for cornerbacks that don't show on paper. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really want to look at the good corners, you got to go on, like, PFF. You got to go on, like, PFF, ESPN, and see, like, okay, Jalen Ramsey, he got targeted 10 times. He allowed 2 completions. That's a 20% complete. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at those numbers.
I will make another hot take. Cowboys fans won't like this one either. I think, like you said, I think Diggs is overrated. You gotta show me the fact of the matter is he either gives up a high amount of yards or he gets a pick. That's the game. In my opinion, I think Jalen Ramsey is going to be the best corner of the league this year. Obviously, like
easily.
I don't know how many picks he has, but man is locking down everybody. He locked down Mike Evans. He locked down Chris Godwin. He locked down everybody when they beat the Buccaneers. And Buccaneers have a lot of good wide receivers. So
he only has one, Jalen Ramsey.
Only one pick? Yeah. See, one. Jalen Ramsey's the one that's going to swat the ball away on fourth down instead of trying to dive for it and catch it. And he misses and he gives up a touchdown like Diggs will. That's the difference. He plays a smarter game, and smarter game equals better game in the NFL. So, my pick for this interesting game is gonna be
Wait. Before we get our pick, I don't mean to interrupt you. Before we get our pick, we need to talk about the offenses because we talked about Trayvon Diggs, but we need to talk about how loaded this offensive matchup is. So obviously for the Cowboys, we got Amari Cooper, we got CeeDee Lamb, we got Michael Gallup, who will be coming back, I believe. Dalton Schultz, Ezekiel Elliott, Dak Prescott. Crazy offense, right? Now in the Vikings, we got Kirk Cousins, who's been playing good. We got Justin Jefferson, we got Adam Thielen, we got D.D. Westbrook, we got Dalvin Cook, and we got Tyler Conklin, another great offense. So Shane, before we get our picks in, whose offense do you think is better? Do you like the Cowboys? Now, I'm not saying his overall team. I'm saying just the offense. Do you like the Cowboys offense more? Or do you like the Vikings offense more?
You see, there's a lot of.
That's a tough question.
There's a lot of stars that you just named. I may say Cowboys because personally, I'd rather have their QB. I'd rather have Dak Prescott than I just think Dak Prescott is a better QB between the two. I think that's the difference in the offenses right there is their quarterback because obviously Dalvin Cook is an exceptional running back, and so is Ezekiel Elliott. But they have the Vikings have Jefferson, Thielen, and you all know how many weapons the Cowboys have. I just think Cowboys are overall better offense.
Who's your pick to win this game, Shane?
I have the Cowboys not the Cowboys. I have the Vikings actually 30-20. I think their defense is gonna step it up in this game.
I also have the Vikings winning. I think it'll be a lot closer. I think the Vikings are gonna win 35-31 in the Sunday night Halloween. Also, what do you think the odds are going to be that the whole entire setup is going to be Halloween based? They're going to be like, there's going to be a Halloween joke, with they're going to black cat jokes. What I'm saying? I will guarantee you because Chris Collinsworth. Well, here's a guy. He was probably too scared to catch the ball. How Chris Collinsworth is. He's a corny guy, but there will be a lot of corny jokes on this game too because how, like I said, Chris Collinsworth is a goofball. Al Michaels too. I love Al Michaels, but he's no stranger to corny jokes. So 35-31, I got the Vikings winning this game as well. Now, our last game of the week, the first day of November 1st. Wow, this year's going by quick too, man. We got the Monday night game between the New York Football Giants, who are 2-5, against the Kansas City Chiefs, who are 3-4. And the Chiefs are 9.5-point favorites. Now, as you guys know, I'm a New York Giants fan, and the Giants are a very bipolar team. Their team is good on paper, but they're just not executing. And I'm not just trying to be biased, like I'm being like for real. Like if Daniel Jones
you guys
plays
have
well beside
with injuries as well.
That's true. Saquon Barkley most likely will not play. Joe Judge, the coach, is having him rest to play against the Raiders, which is their next game. But it is a Monday night game, so he does have an extra day of rest, but he's thinking that he will not play. And if he does play, he'll be on a very, very limited snap count, which you can't blame him, So minus Saquon Barkley, the Giants are going to be getting Kadarius Toney back, who, as we saw Shane, he was dusting Trayvon Diggs, man. Those routes he was running were disgusting. He caught the ball, made a 1-yard gain into a 15-yard gain. I really like Kadarius Toney. They got Kenny Galladay, all that stuff. But the Chiefs, on the other hand, they need to get back on track, and they need to get back on track fast. And we talked about this, Shane. The Chiefs' defense has been selling them hard, right? Now, this is no fault to Patrick Mahomes. I know people they're trying to say that Patrick Mahomes is overrated. this, that, and a third. I won't even be considering that. I know he has 9 interceptions thrown, which I believe is tied for first or second. Besides that, Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes. He will be playing this game. I know he left the game early against the Titans because he got kneed in the head. It would look like a WWE move, but he is all right. He will be playing. But I really feel like people just hate on Patrick Mahomes, and it's really not his fault most of the part. I know he's made a couple bad picks. I'm made aware of that. But his defense hasn't been helping him out for the most part. I mean, their defense is terrible, absolutely terrible. And that's where I think most of their problems lies, their defense. What about you, Shane? What do you think about the Chiefs and their defense and all that?
So I got three things I want to say. One, I completely agree. Chiefs defense, terrible. I think they have the worst defense in the league. You could argue Washington has the worst defense as well, but like you said, they have been just choking all year. Their defense is just not good this year. Patrick Mahomes, Patty boy. I think he I can't like you said, I can't blame this on Patrick at all. Because you go back and you watch the film. I know you're a big numbers guy, but I'm big on film. I like to watch, as you know. I like to watch a lot of film, both pro and college. Those 9 picks, they're not his fault. Most of them, like you said, there's been a couple. He's made some questionable throws and then unlucky bounces added to him. I think he'll bounce back. Eventually. I see people thinking the Chiefs will make the playoffs, and I just don't see that happening. And my last thing I wanted to talk about this game, the Giants. Their offense can be very, very good, or they can be very, very bad. As me and you have seen, we watched the Cowboys game together. Tony's just an exceptional wide receiver. He's one of those wide receivers that I think is going to be very, very good in the upcoming years. This game to me is going to be based on how well the Chiefs handle, how their defense handles the Giants. And like you said, Saquon's not playing, but go ahead.
I was gonna say, what are your thoughts on the on Daniel Jones?
Listen, I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I don't think he's a great quarterback. I honestly, he has the weapons. He needs to make some plays. He needs to make the plays that they expect him to. Like you said, they got Galladay. Galladay's coming back this week, correct?
I think so. Yeah, he should be back. And they also have Sterling Shepard. I love him. He's a good slot receiver.
They have Shepard. He's another underrated talent in my opinion. And then they have the rookie wide receiver, Tony.
Tony. Yep.
Yeah. I can't say his first name, so I just call him Tony. But
Kadarius Tony.
Yeah, I think if Daniel Jones does what he needs to do to win this game, I think the Giants will win this game. The Chiefs defense is so bad. It's so bad. They're one of the worst against the rush. They're worse against the pass, and they're just not making the plays. And like I said, their offense isn't living up to the hype that it always has. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this game here?
Now, lastly, I'm gonna just say that can Danny Dimes win his first ever primetime game? He has not won in primetime yet. I think he does. I really think the Chiefs are very beatable. They're not insane. Which, they got Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill and Mahomes, but I really think the Chiefs are a beatable team. I think the Giants wholeheartedly.
They're a very one-dimensional team.
Mm-hmm. And because of that, I think the Giants, Daniel Jones picks up his first primetime win. The Chiefs keep on spiraling out of control. I got the Giants winning this game 24-20. What about you, Shane?
I have the Giants winning as well. I think this game comes down to a field goal in the final seconds. I think the Giants will win 17-14.
All right, Shane. Now, lastly, before we go, we have obviously the picks of the week. And obviously, we kind of touched on that briefly. If you guys don't know what it is, it basically, we give our best game of the week and why. So, Shane, what is your game of the week and why?
I've been thinking about it. I'm still going to go with the Packers and the Cardinals. There's a lot on the line in this game. I said earlier, Tom Brady was playing at MVP level. You got two quarterbacks here who's been playing at MVP level this year as well. You got Rodgers, who's always been Aaron Rodgers. Then you got Kyle Murray. A lot of people are thinking this is a defining year for him, and the Cardinals are currently the only undefeated team in the NFL. Like you said, obviously, when we talked about this game earlier in the podcast, Packers don't have a lot of weapons this game. So that's going to be a very key factor, in my opinion. And this is gonna shake up the NFC power rankings a lot, because there's a lot of teams at that 6-1, 7 or 6-1, 5-1 record. The Packers, like I said, the Cowboys, the Bucks. I think if the Cardinals win this game,
Shane, we need a timeout, man. We need a timeout. This is on me. This is completely my fault. We completely forgot about a game. I know. I was looking through it. I was like, wait a minute. This seems a little weird. We completely, and this is all on me. I was rushing when I was typing this. We forgot about the Seattle Seahawks playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars are Shane. I'll let you talk about this one. The Jaguars are 1-5, and the Seahawks are 2-5. And the Seahawks come into this game at 3.5-point favorites. Shane, go ahead and talk to us about this game. The Jaguars and the Seahawks. The Seahawks obviously got Geno Smith at the helm still. Russell Wilson should be back for the next game. But what are your thoughts on this game between the Jaguars and the Seahawks? Trevor Lawrence playing,
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
See, that completely changed my view, because I actually thought I haven't been keeping up with the Seahawks at all. I knew Russell Wilson was injured. I didn't know if he was coming back for this game. Like you said, Geno Smith is still playing. I don't know. That's a big surprise for me, is how bad the Seahawks have been playing this year. That's another team where their offense is good, but their defense is just terrible. Trevor Lawrence, he's not living up to expectations. The Jaguars aren't living up to expectations. They have one win this year. But I do, in just of how this year has gone for both teams, I hate to say it, but I'm not a big Jacksonville fan. I've never liked Jacksonville. I always thought they were a terrible team. I have them winning in this game, in my opinion. What are your thoughts about this game, Will?
Yeah. Once again, I gotta apologize to everyone. I knew it sounded weird. I was like, I thought, before I thought I had my roster, my fantasy team that DK Metcalf was playing this week. Like, what the hell? But now I remember. So I apologize for that. But yeah, I think that the Jaguars are also going to win, because the Seahawks they look like a very bad team, a completely different team without Russell Wilson. So that's why I think that they are going to take this win. I lost my train of thought. The Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm sorry. I think the Jaguars are going to win 24-23. And Trevor Lawrence will get his second win, back-to-back wins, going on a little 2-game win streak against the Seahawks. What about you, Shane? What's your prediction? What's your score?
The score. I think it's going to be a very low-scoring game. I think I want to say 14-13 Jacksonville.
Ooh, wow, really low-scoring game.
I just don't see Geno Smith putting up points. I don't see Trevor Lawrence putting up points. That's just my thought on it.
All right, Shane. So, sorry to interrupt you, but you were talking about your game of the week, which is the Packers and the Cardinals. And what were you saying about that? I apologize.
I think this can end up being one of the most important games of the year. I know, in my opinion, there's a lot of good games at the end of the year. One of them being Buccaneers Bills at the end of the year, which I would definitely watch. But that's in the future. Right now, I think this is going to be the game of the year up until, another one of those good games come along. There's a lot of pressure on both teams this game. That is why this is my game of the week.
My game of the week is the Cowboys and Vikings because it's going to be an offensive shootout, and I love offensive games. And it'll be a very fun game to watch, regardless who wins, because of all the talent on the offensive side of the ball. And I love that so much in football. I love high-scoring games. I love great catches, great runs. I love it all. And what better game could you ask for two top 10 offenses playing on a prime time on Halloween night? So that's my pick, the Dallas Cowboys versus the Minnesota Vikings on prime time. Well, guys, that is going to wrap up the revived Gridiron Talk Podcast Season 2, Week 8. We appreciate your support. Let me know what you guys thought of the episode. If you guys want something to us to talk about, leave a comment down below. Let us know how Shane did for his first time ever doing a podcast. How'd you like it, Shane? It was your first episode doing it. How'd you like it?
I liked it. It was I haven't talked that much in a while. Last time I had to talk that much was when I met the mayor of Syracuse. But that was a lot of talking for me. So, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I like I said, I've been pushing you to have me on one of your podcasts because I really enjoy just talking about football in general. But it was really fun.
So we'll be back next Thursday, most likely, to talk about Week 9 of the NFL season. But until then, guys, me and Shane want to thank you guys so much for watching the Gridiron Talk Season 2. Have a good Halloween. Have a safe Halloween. Like I said, if you're not drinking, you're going out trick-or-treating, you watch that Cowboys-Vikings game on prime time. It'll be a fun game to watch. Do you have anything else to say, Shane, before we wrap up the episode?
No, just everybody stay safe out there. Spooky season. Just if you're not,
protect your chicken, like Marshawn Lynch said, right?
Yeah,
protect your
chicken. Protect your bread. Just stay safe out there. The world's crazy nowadays, but stay safe. Hope everybody has a fantastic Halloween. Eat some candy. I don't eat candy, but you know what? I'm not everybody. So just stay safe and have fun on Halloween.
He doesn't eat candy because the Ryder Rocket doesn't want candy, right, Shane?
That's a fact. Well, that's a fact.
You can't get those gains at the gym if you're eating candy, huh?
No, you cannot. You cannot perfect your body by eating candy. But yeah.
Well, like I said, guys, we'll be back next Thursday to talk more football. And it'll be the same format. If you guys want us to talk about something specific, if you have like a little Q&A, like I said, shoot it down below. Follow us on social media. My Instagram is Will Meyer with 2 ____. Shane, what's your Instagram? Give it the plug real quick.
It's at Big Man Shane. And then if you're feeling real generous, follow the fitness page, Shane Ryder _fitness. But the main Insta is Big Man Shane.
Yes, sir. And like I said, we'll be back next Thursday to talk more football. You guys have a great Sunday. Thank you for supporting us. And shout out Joey, my boy Joey. Oh, I almost forgot. Thank God I remembered this. So, guys, if you guys want to check out my second podcast, that was, my little secret I was working on all year so far. It is on ultimatesportsnetwork.com. I'll shoot the link down below to listen to my premium podcast. If you're a Raiders fan or if you just want to support me, it would mean the world to me. It's going to be me and Joey, the one I used to do this podcast with. We do it every Wednesday and Friday, and we talk about the Las Vegas Raiders, their news, their trades, injuries, go over their games, everything Las Vegas Raiders. So if you know a Raiders fan or if you are a Las Vegas Raiders fans, or hell, if you just want to learn more about the Raiders, go check out my podcast. I'll put the link down below at ultimatesportsnetwork.com. But thank you all so much for your support. It really means the world to me. You're making mine and Shane's dream come true by just talking football. That's all we like to do. We talk about this all the time, and we love it. So we appreciate you guys' support.
It's a great opportunity, a lot like you said, well, you have this other podcast. You only had one last year. What, you have like 2, 3 now gonna come up. So
I have 2. I'll do this one every Thursday on my YouTube. Obviously, you guys know every Thursday this will be up. And then my other podcast is Wednesdays and Fridays. So, I mean, I do it. It's like a job. It's a full-time job, writing the script and everything, all of this. So, and honestly, I'm not just saying this to be corny. I got to thank you guys listening to me, because if you guys didn't listen, if you guys didn't support me, I wouldn't have any fans. I wouldn't have a fan base, and I wouldn't just be doing this. So I really appreciate all of you guys who take your time out of your day to listen to my podcast. You know, people do it, they when they're driving to work or when they're on a car ride, or, regardless, they just listen to it if they're reading the book. I know, Shane, you like to listen to podcasts when you play video games. So, regardless, it's always good to, support me, and I really do appreciate it. Like I said, I'll post a link down below. Thank you all so much. And as I said last year, keep your stick on the ice. This is Will signing off. Have a good one, guys.